are you now? Are you on your way?
Hi, Marianne. I'm on my way to my mom's house so she can take care of Anna while I'm at Dan's funeral. I'll be there as quickly as I can, so hang in there. You must be going through a lot, and I want to be there for you. I know very well that you are going through the hardest time more than anyone else. Your husband passed away, and it must be painful. But still, you must gather your strength and take courage so he can rest in peace and go to a better place. He's not here anymore, but we are. Preston, Anna, and I are here, and we'll visit you more often than ever so you won't feel lonely. We'll take good care of you, so don't worry. Anna loves to spend nights at her grandmother's house. I'll drop her off at your place next weekend or so when things are settled.
No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to come to Dan's funeral or consider me as your mother-in-law anymore. I don't ever want to see your face again. I want you to get a divorce from my son and move on your way. If you're worried about me and want to help me in any way, that's what you should do. Do as I ask.
What are you saying? Why should I divorce Preston? I understand that it must be very difficult for you, as Dan's illness suddenly worsened and he passed away without even being able to say goodbye. But telling me not to attend the funeral and to get divorced is going too far. Was it my misunderstanding that I had a good relationship with you for the past 5 years of my marriage? I called you at least every other day and sent pictures of Anna every day. I went to see you and Dan even without Preston. I thought I did what I had to do as your daughter-in-law, and I don't think I could have done any better. Did I upset you in any way? Is that why you're demanding to get divorced?
Yes, it was your misunderstanding. Frankly, I never liked you from the beginning. Your appearance, personality, hairstyle, and voice, none of it appealed to me. However, since my son loved you and you were also a precious daughter to your parents, I kept my mouth shut and didn't want to hurt you with my personal preferences. But I have never once acknowledged you as my daughter-in-law, even for a second in my heart. I also didn't like that you got pregnant before you married my son, which made him marry you so hurriedly because he felt responsible. You only gave birth to a daughter when my son is the only guy in the family for the past 3 generations. It also didn't sit well with me that you wouldn't have any more children, despite my son having a significant responsibility of carrying on a family name. I haven't brought this up until now because I didn't want to become a harsh mother-in-law, but I have to say it now. I don't want to see your face anymore. Now Dan's gone. I'm not sure how much time I have left, and I don't want to waste my time even for a minute seeing you for the rest of my life.
Do you want me to believe that? You have never expressed such feelings to me before.
Did you really think that I was the kind of uncivilized mother-in-law who openly bullies and controls her daughter-in-law? Even if I had any grievances, I closed my eyes and ears for the sake of my son's happiness. I didn't want to get in between you two like a meddler. It didn't matter if I liked you or not, because what mattered was if my son was happy. As long as he was happy with his wife and daughter, I believed things like my feelings towards you didn't matter. But I was flattering myself. I couldn't stand seeing you anymore, and I realized my happiness matters too. How many more times do I have to tell you this? Listening to me anymore will only hurt your feelings. You should understand and do as I say. This is for your own good.
I still can't believe it. Even though it was a premarital pregnancy, you were so excited that I brought the best wedding present ever by having a grandchild. You waited outside the delivery room all night while I was in labor when my own mom couldn't do that. You even gave me $3,000 by saying that you thanked me for giving birth to your precious granddaughter. You always love Anna dearly. You never expressed that you were upset because your grandchild is a girl. You couldn't have hated me when you cooked for me at least once a week, saying raising a child takes up a lot of my energy. There's no way you would kick me out, who has been even more considerate than my own mother. Let's talk face to face and clear up any misunderstandings if there are any. I'll come over there right now. Please wait for me a little bit.
No, please don't. I'm begging you not to come and stay where you are.
Then you have to tell me why I should do as you say. I don't understand any of it, and I need an explanation.
Because your crazy husband brought some crazy woman to the funeral.
What do you mean by a crazy woman?
He says she is his new girlfriend and she is wearing revealing clothes that show off her cleavage, which is highly inappropriate for a funeral. He has even introduced her as the new daughter-in-law to Dan and as one of the candidates for the new daughter-in-law to guests paying their respects. I told him and his stupid mistress to leave immediately and not embarrass our family any further, but they rather threatened me and told me that an old lady like me needs to shut up. It was an unbearable sight to witness at Dan's funeral, but I knew that making a scene would not be the right thing to do. The chaos that was unfolding in front of me was almost too much to bear, but I held back my tears and anger, trying to maintain some sort of composure. I thought of you and my heart ached for you and Anna. It's hard to even fathom that the person I gave birth to could turn out to be someone so inhumane and cruel. I can't believe that he could bring someone like her to his dad's funeral, where people are supposed to be mourning and showing respect for the deceased. But despite my shock and disbelief, I know that I have to hold on to my sanity and strength. Not just for myself, but for you and Anna as well. I wonder what part of my education went wrong that I ended up with such an inhumane creature. It's frustrating and infuriating to think about it, but even that is probably my fault as a bad mother who couldn't raise her child properly.
You shouldn't blame yourself. You have done nothing wrong.
I always thought that my husband and I lived our lives with integrity and honesty and that we raised our son to be the same way. But now, in the face of this terrible situation, I can't help but question everything. Was I wrong all along? How did I not see it coming? I feel ashamed and guilty in front of my late husband. I also feel immense regret for bringing you into this mess. I know that you are an important and cherished daughter to your parents, and it hurts me deeply to see you go through this. As for that scumbag, it's hard to believe my son turned out this way, whom I raised with so much effort and love. I'm truly sorry that you have to go through this, and I hope that we can all find a way to move forward from this insane situation.
I'm sorry too. But I want to make sure that you know that it's not your fault, so you should stop blaming yourself for what's happening. As someone who spent 5 years with him, I never imagined that he could be such a pig either. But upon reflection, I realized his behavior has been quite suspicious lately. He worked overtime more often than ever, and when he came home, he didn't spend time with Anna, but instead just stared at his phone. A year ago, he suddenly suggested that we manage our own finances separately, which I now realize it was because he was seeing another woman. I had no idea and foolishly thought our relationship was going through a rough patch, and it could be fixed if I tried harder. I even suggested to him that we should try marriage counseling. But now I see that I was wrong to believe that. It's just so hard to accept that the person I loved and trusted for so long could be so deceitful and disloyal. And now I have to face the reality that our marriage is over.
I'm so sorry, Hannah. I have caused irreparable harm to you and Anna because I raised my child wrong. I want to compensate you enough, but they threatened and coerced me into signing a document giving up my share of Dan's inheritance. I'm sorry I couldn't keep it for you and Anna. You will need support for raising Anna alone.
Is that true? Did he really do such a thing to you?
It's hard to believe, but just a while ago, he made me write and stamped that document. He threatened me and forced me to sign it, saying that if I don't comply, he'll destroy everything, including our family's ancestral rights. I can't believe my own son could do something like this to me at his dad's funeral. It's a complete betrayal. Preston stole the will that Dan wrote from his safe and destroyed it. I thought I had raised him better than this, but I guess I was wrong. I'm devastated that our family's assets, which Dan has accumulated through decades of hard work and sacrifice, are now at the mercy of that jerk. I want to make things right and give you and Anna fair compensation by Dan's will and for the damage that has been done, but he won't even listen. What should I do with that jerk who wants to take all the property and live with his mistress? I still have a house in my name and some savings, although it's not a lot. So I think I'll be okay for the rest of my life. But I'm worried about you and Anna. It's resentful I have to give our property to those cockroaches that my husband and I worked hard on all our lives. What should we do about the situation when Anna has to be the only one to spend that money?
He makes me speechless. How could he do that to his mother? He makes me sick. There has to be something we can do. We can look for evidence that he stole Dan's will from his safe. Do you think you can get it?
You know what? I installed surveillance cameras in the living room and my bedroom. I was worried about what might happen after Dan had a stroke, so I put them up. The footage may show Preston taking out the will from the safe and getting rid of it.
That's perfect. I'll run to your house right now. It might take a while to look through the footage and find the right one, so I should get there quickly. I'll find it and reserve it on my computer. Does he know there are cameras put up in your house?
I don't remember exactly, but I might have mentioned it to him.
Okay, I better take care of it before he realizes and makes his move. I can't let that happen for Anna.
What the hell are you doing? How can you not attend the funeral when your father-in-law died? How do you think others will perceive our family if the daughter-in-law doesn't even show up at her father-in-law's funeral? They might think our family is so dysfunctional. Bring Anna and come over here right now.
You should say passed away when talking about older people's deaths. Do I have to spell everything out for you? And why should I bother attending the funeral when your new wife-to-be is already playing the role of your wife and Dan's daughter-in-law? You have some nerve. People will be looking at you strangely, but you seem to have no shame. Bringing your mistress to your father's funeral suggests you truly are something else.
So, Mom told you already, huh? I thought it would be easier for you to get a divorce if you came to the funeral and confirmed her presence yourself. That's why I purposely brought her to meet you at the funeral so you can confront the situation without any warning. But that foolish old lady ruined everything. I wanted to see her embarrassed and shameful face with my own eyes.
It makes me sick to my stomach listening to you calling Marianne that way. You should stop.
Why are you so obsessed with your mother-in-law who isn't even your own mother? You're helpless. No matter how well you treat and love her, she will be just someone else's mother at the end of the day. She will become a stranger to you when we get a divorce soon. That's what a relationship between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law is. You two met because of me, but when I'm not there between you two, you won't mean anything to each other. So why are you getting so worked up? Why do you care what I call my mother? Don't forget, I'm her child, not you. She'll eventually take my side and do what I tell her to do.
How stupid do you have to be to say something like that? You are as dumb as an ostrich. Even animals show more respect for their parents than you do. I'll ignore you even if you're barking like a dog, so please be quiet. That would be the least you can do for your deceased father. And don't make the guests feel uncomfortable and offended. Send your mistress away right now.
Will you promise me that you'll divorce me? I'll send her away immediately if you promise me.
Did you bring your mistress to the funeral as a threat, thinking that I wouldn't agree to the divorce?
There was no other choice. I gave you countless hints that I wanted to divorce you for a whole year. Unfortunately, you never got the message and even suggested that we should try counseling. I thought this was the only way to make you disgusted with me and finally leave. So, are we going to get a divorce or not? My father's last moments can be shameful or peaceful, depending on you.
I'll divorce you whatsoever. Trust me and kick her out right now. Then I'll run to the funeral service right now and take care of all the duties as the daughter-in-law.
That sounds wonderful. I'm glad we're finally getting somewhere. What the hell happened? I just heard that I'm not able to inherit my father's estate. Why am I not able to receive any of it when I'm his son? My dad left a will stating that the entire estate should go to me, but Mom has somehow taken control of it instead. She has no right to interfere with my father's wishes and take away what was meant for me. Do you have something to do with this? Did you instigate her to do this to me? You'll be able to get more alimony if I have more money. You know that, right? You should help me, not her, if anything.
I'm telling you, I have nothing to do with this. Isn't that money meant for Marianne in the first place? That money is what Marianne and Dan established by working so hard for their entire lives. Do you really think it's fair for you to keep all of it and not give her a single penny? I don't care how much money I receive for alimony from you. What's more important to me is how Marianne can live the rest of her life comfortably with that money. How can you only think about yourself and not consider the life of your mother who is a widow?
I can't help it if that's what Dad wanted. I wish I could talk to him to rewrite his will so Mom can get some of it too, but it seems it's too late now. I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just following Dad's will.
No, that's not what Dan wanted. I know what you did. You invalidated his will, created a new one, and coerced Marianne into signing a document relinquishing her rights to the estate. This wasn't what your father intended at all, and it seems like you manipulated the situation to your advantage.
I swear to God that I never did such a thing. No matter how big of a scumbag I may be, I could never do something so heinous to my mother. Honestly, I won't lie and say that I wasn't tempted by the idea of receiving my father's entire estate. But how could I ever take it all away from my mother, who also needs to live her life on her own from now on? How can I make you believe me? I can't turn my insides inside out like a sock, and it's really frustrating.
You're such an amazing actor and a liar, aren't you? Everything you did in Marianne's room was captured on a surveillance camera, which was installed for Dan. Marianne probably didn't know that she would use the camera like this either. More importantly, Jamie recorded everything on her phone when she got worried about Marianne and went to check on her, who couldn't be found anywhere. Jamie was Marianne's housekeeper who worked for her, but they were good friends. I guess a friend is better than a son. It's been confirmed that anyone who destroyed or manipulated the will loses their right to inherit the estate, which means you won't be receiving a single penny of it. By the way, your mom may sue you for trespassing. You better be prepared for it.
I can't believe what's happening. Everything was perfect, and I can't just lose everything like this. I tried to take the money even by betraying my mother, but in the end I lost both my mom and the money. It doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean by perfect? It was a shoddy scheme full of slacks. If you had just stayed quiet, you would have received a considerable inheritance, but instead you used trickery and ended up not receiving a single penny. Who came up with such a pathetic scheme?
Her. It was entirely her idea, so I did nothing wrong. I can still receive the inheritance if I can prove what happened wasn't my idea, right? It sounded legit when she told me, but I was a fool who couldn't think twice.
Do you believe that will work? I can't help but feel pathetic for myself, who spent the last 5 years with such a scumbag like you. How lame of you to try to use your mistress as an excuse to get money whom you love so much. Does she have any idea that you're such a coward?
Hannah, honey, listen to me. Mom loves and adores you. Can you talk to her, please? She won't listen to me, but will listen to you. Ask her please forgive her son's wrongdoings and give him a portion of the inheritance. We have to raise Anna, and there will be a lot of expenses. Mom would die for Anna, so she would consider giving me anything, even though she hates me. Please, honey.
Didn't you say you wanted a divorce? I thought we were going to be separated very soon. I thought you said you will dump me and our daughter and start a new life with your mistress. You wanted Dan's money to have a future with her, not with me and Anna to begin with.
Absolutely not. That's not true. You're misunderstood. I said those stupid things because I was shocked and in a state of confusion after losing my father. How could you think that I would abandon you and our daughter? I can never do that, so please don't say such things.
You and your mistress doing something indecent at Dan's funeral was captured in a photo by Jamie and given to me to use when I divorce you. Isn't Jamie so cool? Who would even think of doing such a thing with his mistress at his father's funeral? It's really low and beneath common sense.
What do you mean by cool? Jamie should have minded her own business instead of sticking her nose in my business. Hannah, forgive me this one time. I never wanted to get a divorce. I won't let that happen.
So now you decided to stoop and cling to me and Anna, knowing that Marianne would give all the inheritance to us. Your behavior is so disgusting and shameful. I'm going to claim alimony from you and your mistress. Just pay the alimony and child support peacefully and get divorced. I'm ready to file lawsuits if you're not willing to make it work. I don't want to talk to scumbags like you anymore. So unless we meet in court, let's never cross paths again. After what happened, I was able to divorce my husband quickly and gain custody of my daughter. We divided the spousal support and child support from our shared assets, but there was almost nothing left for my ex-husband to take, and his mistress ended up leaving him as she was after his money. Meanwhile, Marianne was very disappointed in her son and gave a significant portion of her estate to my daughter to prevent her property to go to her son in the future. She said she would continue to give everything to her granddaughter. I am grateful and sorry to her who gave me and my daughter so much love. I should repay her by living happily with Anna and visiting her more often. I hope that my mother-in-law, who might be closer and dearer to me than my mother, forgets the pain and lives the rest of her life healthfully and joyfully.